The idea of an autonomy or a
Yes.
level of responsibility on the part of that school leader at the building level.
Yes.
Who else is involved in helping to make this change?
I think business and industry.
Business and industry has a role.
Yes. Because I think all of that makes us stronger. I mean, all the things that we talked about makes our community stronger, not just our economy, but and it also fosters that expectations that we want children to have, that there is life after high school and there are opportunities available. But we also want business and industry to feel that we have a trained, viable workforce. Because absent that, not only can we not sustain what we have, but we can't attract others to come to the community.
Who else has, anybody else has a role?
What about the students?
What about the students? What about the students?
What about the teachers?
Well, they were mentioned, well, maybe not, but teachers. Teachers. Yeah.
Pastor, can I say one thing about expectations? That when you ask that question about, do we perceive that these expectations exist within our schools? I think that sometimes the expectations may be there, but it's something we call learned helplessness. That if I try and my efforts continue to fail, then the organism will give up efforts to try. Deep down inside, they still want to believe. That's why I'm here this morning. You still want to believe that there is an opportunity to turn things around. But sometimes when you look at what's before you, what's in the natural, if you focus on what's in the natural rather than what's in the supernatural, sometimes it's overwhelming. Yeah. And many times people feel that there may not be enough of us to join together to really make the kind of impact.
So here we are. We have a wonderful group of people who have given up their time to come and to listen to this conversation that we've had, and I personally thank them for giving the time from their especially busy schedules, and so we thank you for that. But before we wrap this up and before these folks leave, if there was one thing, and only one, and so I apologize in advance if I interrupt you when you get to point 2. If there was only one thing that you could say to these folks in the room who care, you have 2 superintendents, you have school board members, you have Stand for Children, Teach for America, New Schools, Baton Rouge, the Recovery School District staff, you have the Resource Center for Educators, you have school administrators, all of these folks who in some way or another, you have community leaders from the religious community, a member of the city council, representative of the foundation, all of these folks care in some way about education or they wouldn't be here. And so if there was one thing that you could say to them in parting, what would it be?
Equality. Treat everyone the same.
Treat everyone the same. All right. One thing.
One thing. I'd invite you to look around at Forest Heights Elementary. And if you see centers of excellence in the systems, mimic what's working at those centers of excellence. Don't try reinventing the wheel.
Okay. One thing.
You get out what you put in, and it's like going to an ATM machine. You didn't put it in there.
It's not going to come out.
Draw it out. It's going to say what?
Overdraw.
Insufficient. Insufficient.
Mary?
I would say it's a complex problem. Be creative.
Be creative. Yeah.
And I would say we need to hold each other to higher accountability standards. We should be accountable in meeting the needs of children, each of us.
One thing.
I would say listen to the children.
Listen to the children. These 2 young people have certainly given us a lot to listen to. Last one.
I was still thinking.
One thing.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
One thing.
Okay, one thing. Understand that the majority of teachers love you, and they're there for your best interest, and that we desire a high level of equitable facilities across this district. We want our our schools to shine like the other schools that have been remodeled, built from the ground, and everything else. Know that we want that for you.
All right. One thing.
All right. I would say be brave enough to resist the temptation to follow education reform as a trend and see it more as a mission to redesign the system, listening to the voices of the children.
All right, well, thank you. And my one thing that I would say to everybody here is thank you for giving us this time out of your life to come and to listen to the beginning of a conversation about how we come together as a community to support effective, excellent schools in North Baton Rouge. And so thank you so much for your time, and God bless each of you.
What's your reaction to what you've heard? Well, I think there were some very insightful comments made about the current state of affairs in terms of education in the North Baton Rouge area. I think there were some very candid reflections offered, and I think there's excellent food for thought about, how collectively those who are concerned about this issue can come up with a workable way to address the concerns so that the children in this area receive the highest quality education possible.
If people have questions or like more information, what should they do?
They should just reach out to us at our betterbatonrouge.org website and just click on Igniting Action, and they'll be able to send us information, request for information, and we'll follow up with them.